Everybody, we hope y'all are having a wonderful summer up to this point. It's almost the 4th of July, June is almost gone, and it's so amazing each year how fast it goes. But we hope y'all have had a very blessed summer up to this point. Today, I've been trying to brainstorm what can we talk about, that is a real world application that a lot of us use each day that may make our lives a lot easier. And I thought of something that we all have in common. What do we all really depend on each day from the moment we roll out of bed to the point we get back in bed at night to go to sleep? And that is electricity. We love electricity. It's hard to explain. It's one of these magical forces of the world that it's so complicated, yet we depend on it, everyday application of our lives every day. And it's no different in agriculture. If we have, for example, electric fencing. Now, electric fencing, when we think about that, the application is for keeping livestock contained. But it doesn't have to be for that. If you have deer that are getting into your gardens and eating your tomatoes and eating your vegetables, you can put up a perimeter electric fence around it and help keep them out. If you have flower beds and you're trying to keep your dogs out of the flower beds, you can put a single strand of electric wire around it to keep them out. And that happens because a lot of you probably have been shocked by an electric fence in your life, probably when you were young, and most of the time it didn't happen again. Because there's something about being shot by an electric fence. Yes, there's some pain involved, but it's so fear-provoking after it happens. There's just something spooky feeling about it when that electricity reaches out and bites you from that fence. And it's no different from animals. If a cow, horse, sheep, goat come up and touch that wet nose on that fence and it pops it to them, there is a psychological barrier that is created in that moment to train them. When they get close to that fence again, they remember that unpleasant experience just like we do, and they learn to respect it. And if you have animals, livestock in particular, that respect a single strand of electric fence, 2 strands, it makes life so much easier. And another benefit of electric fencing, it's very cost effective. When you compare, if you're going to run a fence for a half mile and you compare the cost of electric fencing, single strand, double strand versus a 5-strand regular barbed wire fence or woven wire fence, it's more cost effective. Now there is a little bit more maintenance involved in it, of course, but it's a wonderful tool to use. Now I have this, what this is called a poly rope, I believe, and we sell this at the co-op. And the reason I'm talking about this today, I cannot brag on this stuff enough. I have recently discovered this. It's very easy to use, it's very pliable, it's not going to cut you, it's not going to eat you up like barbed wire does. But if you have an area where you need to temporarily fence something out, you can use this stuff. It's so easy. We actually also make a reel where you can reel it up like a fishing reel. It makes life, it's just so enjoyable to use. It's been a pleasure to work with, and I can't brag on this stuff enough. But while we're on the subject of electricity, electric fencing, I want to give you a demonstration today. There are some companies that make an electric fence tester to show you the strength, the status of your electric fence. I've never used one of those personally. I've always done it, I've been taught to do it the old-fashioned way. And you can do this at home. All you need is, say, a screwdriver. And what you do, you have to have a conductor and an insulator. Electricity travels through a conductor, metal, but it's an insulator, it passes right through it and keeps on going. It's not deterred by it at all. That's why when you see an electric fence, you have a plastic insulator clipped to that fence. So that wire rests on it and just keeps on traveling down the wire. But we have that same thing with this screwdriver today. And if I want to test this fence out, what I do, put your hand on the insulator, the plastic part. Plastic is an insulator. You touch it to the wire and then touch the tip of that screwdriver to a piece of metal that's already grounded into the ground. And you're probably not going to be able to see the flame on it, but listen to this pop, 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 pop. You can test it out. The louder, the bigger the flame, the more powerful the fence is. And that is just a wonderful practical, if you're in a hurry and you want to test your fence out before you leave the house, you can use a screwdriver. Let's just say you don't have a screwdriver. What else is around I can test this fence? I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I don't have any screwdrivers, no tools, no nothing, but I want to check my fence out. I don't want to grab it and test it out, but what can I do to test it out? I'm going to show you a really cool party trick. if you're out somewhere, you can get you a piece of grass. And I'm going to tell you about a piece of grass. It serves as a conductor as well as an insulator. It's both. And you can test it out with this. Now I promise, it may be a little frightening at first, but go out, try it, take your piece of grass. Don't worry about putting it on the post, just set it directly on the wire. But make sure it's as far as it can be, and it needs to be, 6-8 inches long, whatever. Set that tip on the wire itself. And slowly keep moving it down towards your hand. And you'll start to feel a pulse. Just barely, just a small pulse. I feel, right, up, up. And if you want to test it out a little more, just keep moving it further down. Oh, oh, oh! That's a great way to test it out. Don't put it too far to your hand at first. Just keep slowly moving it down the line. And you'll feel that pulse through it, and you'll know, hey, my fence is working wonderful right now. Great little trick to use. Electricity, it's just a wonderful thing. It's an exciting thing. We had Ben Franklin to thank for that. That stormy night when he went out and flew that kite, I think he had a key with him and another piece of metal. And when he got us on the path to knowledge, learning about electricity, our lives have never been the same since. And we use it every day. We're so thankful and blessed to have it in our world. And that is a small demonstration and application in agriculture that we use it every day. So we hope y'all have enjoyed this video. These materials, the poly wire, the reel I was talking about, solar chargers you plug into the wall, posts, insulators, we sell all these at Co-op. We have them handy every day. So if you've been on the fence about getting an electric fence, come up to Co-op and look through all our materials. I'm sure we'll have something that will make your life a lot easier. We hope y'all have a very happy and safe, blessed 4th of July. It's a wonderful day out of the year. Be sure to think about our military, all of our leaders, all the people that have come before us to give us that day that we can really think back on and be grateful for. Once again, y'all have a safe, blessed 4th of July, and please come see us at the store anytime.